Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our daytime coaching call. I'm excited for this topic today about how we can avoid falling off the wagon and creating a healthy lifestyle. So if you're watching this live or watching the replay, welcome. We'd like to welcome Erin and Alicia who are here live. Excited to see you all, and we had a great call last night as well. So if you're watching the replay, welcome. I know it is such a busy time of year with the holidays and a lot going on. So great job for showing up for yourself, taking care of yourself during this holiday season, even though it's super busy. Okay, so before we dive into the topic, just wanted to celebrate successes for the week. What were our biggest successes for the week? So I'll go first, and then Erin, and then Alicia, if you want to share. So I would say my success has been tracking my food. Have not been perfect, but I've been working on my nutrition a lot, so that's made a difference. What about you, Erin?
I've been really consistent this week. So
Awesome. Yeah, way to go. Woohoo! That's awesome. Okay, Alicia, what has been working well for you?
I've been, I'm sorry. I've been doing pretty good at getting my protein in this week. Um, I'm working on water this next week.
Way to go. That's awesome. You're doing amazing. Way to go.
Put this
Awesome.
on.
Okay, so we're going to jump in, and if you can see my screen, so I won't be able to see you, but if you can just say, I can see your screen when I get there. 1 second, then that would be awesome. Okay, make sure I got the right spot. Here we go, right here. Okay, and oh, there's one more. Okay. Awesome. Okay,
Shannon,
welcome, Caroline. Great to see you.
hey, I'm in transit. Sorry, I can't be on video.
Oh, no worries. Glad you're here. Yeah, no problem. We're just about to jump into what we're talking about. So, okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so if you can just unmute and say, I can see your screen, then that'd be great.
I can see your screen.
I
Okay,
can see,
perfect.
I can see it too.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Okay, so here we are. Okay, so we're going to talk about stop falling off the wagon. I hear this so much. I have fallen off the wagon. I need to get back on the wagon. So I just want to get rid of the falling off and on because we are going to set our pace for long-term success so that we don't feel like we're falling off the wagon, but we are creating a solid, healthy lifestyle that we can sustain long-term. Okay, so announcements before we jump in. Our last weigh-in video is due on Monday, December 2nd, or December, we already passed, December 22nd in the morning. So no exceptions. We are announcing the cash prize winners on Tuesday, December 23rd. So make sure to get your weigh-in video. I will announce the word of the week. So just like we did last time, you'll have like the word of the week was holiday. So just you need to make sure you write that word on a piece of paper, put it by your scale, and then you step on the scale, say hi in the mirror, and then send your weigh-in video. And if you can send your weigh-in video through Facebook Messenger, that's been the best, most clearest video transport. So absolutely last weigh-in day, Monday, December 22nd. So I just want to make that really clear because we've had some flexibility having weigh-ins on Tuesday and Wednesday. But as far as the cash prize goes, part of the challenge is having a good weigh-in on a Monday after a weekend. And so December 22nd. And then like I say, I think the cash prize is up to like 180. And so depending on what you put in, if you put $10 back, you would at least get your $10 back, or $20 if you got a sweatshirt, then you would definitely get that money back. But If you maintained your weight, you get part of the cash prize. If you didn't maintain your weight, then that just all goes into the pot, and then we divide it between everyone who maintained their weight. And I'm just donating money too. So I am not in, I have been maintaining my weight, just want to say, but I'm going to donate that money for the cash prize. Okay, so then our New Year's challenge officially starts on January 5th, but we will have a break like between December 23rd and January 5th. I am still going to be checking in and running a group and doing calls. So I am business as usual during that time, but there is a little gap between the official challenge. So our official New Year's challenge will kick off January 5th, that's when I will open it up to new people. But if you are in the VIP program, I will continue. We will have a small couple of week group with our VIP members that we will continue supporting you through the holidays. Okay, so we are talking about not falling off the wagon. So 3 simple steps. Step number 1 is creating the right mindset. So we've talked about mindset a lot. Like I say, I'm a certified life coach, and mindset is crucial to getting our results. Step number 2 is setting our pace. So if we are not setting our pace at a good, like slow and steady wins the race. If it's just a crash and burn pace, then we will not be able to sustain that. So setting our pace is crucial. And then allowing ourselves treats. I love treats. I love going to parties. I love traveling. And so it's all about the and. I'm going to enjoy treats and I'm going to stay on track with my healthy lifestyle. But treats are part of it. So we're going to dive into all of those 3. So step number 1 is creating the right mindset. So thinking about, are we looking for possibilities, not obstacles? It's so easy to look for obstacles. When I do one-on-one coaching calls, I talk to people all the time about all the obstacles that we are facing. And the obstacles are real. I'm not discounting them. We are busy. We have, a lot going on. It is hard to plan meals. It is hard to fit in exercise. We're not discounting the obstacles, but we are saying it is possible. One of my favorite inspirations, her name is Bethany Hamilton, and I think I've mentioned her before, but she's a professional surfer, and she lives in Hawaii. She had her arm bitten off by a shark, and she's still professionally surfing. And she's a mom. She's a homeschool mom. She's incredible. And most people would say, forget it, I can never surf again. But she is looking for the possibilities and saying, how can I do this, instead of letting the obstacles pull her down. So there's always going to be an example of someone that has let the obstacles stop them, and that's when we stay stuck. That's when we do not see success, when we don't see the possibilities, we just see the obstacles. So turning that mind frame into, I can do it because, instead of I can't because. For example, it's like, I can't because I have a job. I can't because I have kids. I can't because I have a busy schedule. I don't know. I hear that a lot, and I totally understand. But let's flip it. Like, how can I do this? How can I make this possible? So practicing that mindset every single day, because it really is a practice. It's not something that comes naturally. Like our minds are created to keep us safe. And so, that's why a lot of people connect on, hard times and things that are challenging, because our minds keep us safe. And so we have to practice that mindset. It's not like, I'm not like automatically a positive person. I have to practice that every single day. And so it's a practice, just like our exercise, just like our nutrition, to see the obstacles and go over it. So mindset makes or breaks success. If we look for the obstacles, we will find them. If we look for bridges, we will find those too. So looking for the bridges. Okay. Step number 2 is setting our pace. And I have a video that I want to share about the 20-mile march. So I talked about this last week a little bit on some of our one-on-one calls, the 20-mile march and setting the pace. So let me see if I can get this video to work. Okay, I think I need to change. So I'm going to share computer sound to... Okay, so let me see. I can actually see you guys. I couldn't last night, but let me know if you can hear this.
Concept in the book Great by Choice called 20-mile marching.
Can you
It's
hear
about
it?
achieving consistent performance even in a chaotic world. The key thing is that it has both a lower and an upper limit.
Okay, guys, can you hear that video? Let's see. Erin, are you able to hear it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to do full screen. So this is the 20-mile march. It's just like a couple minutes.
We need both the ambition to achieve and the self-control to hold back. It might sound unintuitive, but it's critical to our success. Let's say we've got two people hiking across the country. We've got Jane, who 20-mile marches, and we've got Joe, who does not. Jane marches 20 miles every day, rain or shine. No less, but no more. Some days it's easier to march 20 miles. And some days it's not. But every day, always, only 20 miles. In contrast, Joe decides to march 40 miles on his first day because he was full of energy. But on the second day, he's exhausted and wakes to find that it's very hot outside, so he hunkers down for better weather. He continues this behavior of overexertion on good days, followed by days where he marches very little or not at all. And when a powerful storm hits, it nearly kills him, and he's forced to recover. By the time he stumbles past the halfway mark, Jane is nearing the end. Because the 20-mile marcher paced herself, she'll finish by a large margin. She had the strength to persevere the bad times because she hadn't spent all her energy and resources during the good times. Now, a good 20-mile march is actually a range on a graph because you need both a lower bound, which is the hurdle that you rise to meet, and an upper bound, which is the ceiling that you don't rise above. Not too little and not too much. As you can see, it creates two forms of discomfort: high performance in difficult conditions, and holding back in good conditions. 20-mile marching builds confidence in our ability to perform well. This point of focus will help us navigate and achieve in a world that is largely uncertain and chaotic. It's also a way for us to define and measure what and how we achieve. It's about recognizing our limitations and being honest with ourselves about what will exhaust us and what won't. And it's about preparing for the worst. Each day should take effort to achieve. We need to push ourselves to greatness, but not so much that we're left vulnerable. Work smart and rest well.
Okay. So I love that concept. Okay, can you still hear me? Thumbs up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. Making sure all the technology works here. Okay, so I love that concept. One of my business coaches shared that with me years ago, and he said, what's going to make or break your success is your pace. And I think you can use this with anything in life. So I've run marathon and like 15 half marathons. If you're running a long distance race and you start the race off too fast, then you're not going to make it to the end. So that's the same idea. Versus you set a slower pace at the beginning, and you can set that pace where you can do it every single mile throughout the race. Or for this example with health and fitness, like we can pick 3 things that we're going to do no matter what. Like no matter if we're sick, no matter if we're tired, no matter if we're on vacation, like we're going to pick 3 things we can do no matter what. And then obviously, if we, are able to do more, we can, but there's our non-negotiables, our 3 things that we set the pace. So just like with the video example, the girl actually beat the guy, and the guy was going faster at one point, but then he wasn't able to sustain that pace. And he almost died because he was going too fast and the conditions were really cold. And so thinking about like, what is your pace? What is your 20-mile march pace? So that's my question for all of us today. And we'll talk about it at the very end for a second. But just thinking about 3 things you could do no matter what every single day. And some of you have already shared this, but so thinking of a nutrition, a fitness, and a mindset. So for example, nutrition would be like hitting your protein goal every day or hitting your fiber goal every day. I recommend a nutrition goal because that's going to be make the biggest difference with if you have a goal of weight loss or if you have a goal of having more energy. A lot of times nutrition is skipped over, but that's the thing that's going to make the biggest difference. So what is your nutrition non-negotiable? What is your fitness non-negotiable? So that would be like, I'm going to go on a walk every day for at least 10 minutes. Like that's my rain or shine, vacation, whatever. We're going to do that. And then mindset, we've talked about this before as well, but something I love to do is I record my goals and my dreams and like the way I want to show up in the world. Like I'm a positive, happy mom, like because it can be a stressed out, tired mom, right? Like so I recorded my goals and my mindset and how I want to show up, and I listened to it on the way home from taking our daughter to school. So I drive my daughter to school and push play and listen to it on the way back. But that just gives me a good reminder of like how I want to show up and how I want to be. And so, like I say, mindset takes practice, and a lot of times we skip practicing that. So set a pace you can do rain or shine, and it becomes a lifestyle, not a diet. Okay, so the last thing, well, one of the last things we're going to talk about is treats. So we need treats. Oh my gosh. I don't know about you, but like if I am too strict on the treats, I will binge. I would eat a whole dozen donuts. I would eat, whatever. And so if we restrict too much and we feel like I can't, that's a diet, and we're not on a diet. I've been doing this, nutrition fitness plan, not this specific one, but working on my own personal goals for 17 years ish. And so taking time to set a goal of how many treats you want to have. So what counts as a treat? Well, for me, like it's like 2 scoops of ice cream. It's like a piece of cake. It's a piece of pie. It's some gummy candy, which I love. So thinking of what a treat is for you and then set a weekly goal. And then it's really a treat. It's not, I don't like it when people say, oh, I'm bad, I'm eating this. It's like, no, we don't need to label things bad or good. It's a treat, right? And a treat is a good word for it because it's an occasional thing. It's not part of our nutrition plan. I know for me at one point, treats were like one of my regular foods. So we don't want it to be a regular food group, but we want it to be a treat. And so you didn't fall off the wagon. If you ate a treat, you did not fall off the wagon. You just treated yourself. And if you feel guilty for eating a treat, then it's not a lifestyle. This is not sustainable. That is not a pace you can keep up with. When I hear people saying they feel guilty or I fell off the wagon, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, we need to talk about creating a lifestyle, because if you feel like you're on something, then you're going to go off of it, and then you're going to get, just gain the weight back or whatever. I use weight loss because we talk about weight loss a lot, but you may have other goals like energy or lowering your stress or better sleep, or, there's lots of wellness goals. But it should be sustainable, where you're eating a treat, you're enjoying it, you're loving it, and you don't feel bad, because that's just part of, and you would just count it as your carbs. And so I would just have less carbs that day. So treats are an important part of creating a long-term plan that doesn't feel like a diet. Okay, so the very last thing I want to talk about is remembering your why, remembering why you started. So if you don't feel motivated, I know this time of year can get hard, especially when it's cold outside, when there's a lot of things going on. But just really remember why we started, because we want our why to be strong enough, even when the holidays hit, even when we're on vacation, even when all the things happen. Our reason why we want to change is so much stronger than why we want to stay the same, that we just keep going. We are consistent because we want those results, and those results are going to carry us through. Okay, so your why will carry you through the good and the bad. Your why will help you keep your pace and going long term. And then bottom line, keep going. So consistency is key. Doing things consistently okay long term is better than 100% and then 0%. Extremes are never going to help us get results. That's like starting over. Like if you're great Monday through Friday and then you go all off on the weekend, then it's like starting over on Monday. And so, finding that good pace, like I say, like, I have a treat 1 to 3 times a week. So I would have a treat maybe on, Wednesday and definitely on the weekend, and then maybe another one in there. But don't just throw all the results out the window on the weekend. Find a good pace to keep going. So, okay, so that's all I wanted to share. I'm gonna stop sharing. Here we go. Okay, so as I was talking, I want to hear from you. What are some non-negotiables that you could do long term, like setting the pace? So I'll go first, and then I'd love to hear from you. So some non-negotiables for me for nutrition are definitely hitting my protein and my fiber goal, but at least my protein goal. Because that one's not always easy to hit. And with Fast Away, I've definitely gone up on my protein than I used to. Um, and then my fitness is getting at least a walk in for at least 10 minutes. That's like my bottom line. I definitely walk more than that, but that's my like non-negotiable. And then my mindset is just listening to my 2-minute affirmations and goals to help me be in a positive mindset. Okay, who else wants to share? What are some of your non-negotiables that you can do long term? Erin, do you want to share?
Sure. So I think we talked about this last week on our individual call, but um, probably like either a workout or a walk for 30 minutes a day and water. I really struggled with water at first, but I've been building it up. So like at least 80. Um, and probably protein.
That sounds good.
Like I need to do better at the protein, but that's a good goal.
Yeah, that's good because it's a challenging one. So that's good that you can do one that might be a little hard. Yeah, thanks, Erin. And she's drinking water right now. Good job. Yeah, so proud of you on your water. You're doing amazing. Yeah, what about you, Alicia? Do you want to share?
So I think I decided my non-negotiables is exercising, except for Sunday. Sunday, for some reason, I just struggle with that. But walking like once a day and then getting my workouts in, um, even Pilates, because I struggle with that one. But
You've been
anyway,
doing it, so that's good.
I've for the last couple weeks since I've been sick, I have been doing it. Um, and then my protein and fiber probably.
Yeah, that's good. Awesome. Yeah, well, and it is good to take a rest day. So, I mean, before I started Fast Way, I like completely took Sundays off. So I don't think it's a bad idea to have a complete rest day. So, but the mobility stretches are really good. Every time I do them, I'm like, oh, they are so good. So, Carolyn, do you want to jump in?
Yeah, sure. I would say exercising every day is a non-negotiable for me.
Mhm.
I don't always make it to the gym. Life gets busy. I just don't get to the gym. So if I don't get to the gym, I try to make sure I get at least a 15-minute walk in, preferably 30 minutes. But if I've at least done that, I'm like, okay, at least I did something.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
sometimes it is just stretching, right? And I mean, I've been dealing with this back pain.
Yeah,
Um,
how is it feeling this week?
I think I've turned a corner. I think the stretching has been helping.
Oh, good.
So yeah, whether it's stretching or some yoga or something like that. I think it's been good for me to do something every day, even
Mhm.
if it's for 15 minutes. And then on the nutrition side of things, fiber comes pretty easily to me. I think carbs, it's pretty hard. I love carbs And I notice when I not mindful of my meals and plan ahead, and I'm just like I'm eating what I kind of want to, but I'm like, oh, I think I'm doing good. I log that in. I'm like, oh my god, my carbs are like out of control. So I got to be mindful of my carbs for sure to
Yeah.
stay on track. And protein is a good one too, because I think if I didn't track that, I'd be very low in protein. Now I don't always make that protein goal, but if I'm under 10 or under 20, I'm like, okay, at least I tried and got close, because I think I'm way low if I didn't track it.
Yeah. No, those all sound good. And I'm glad your back is feeling better. That's so painful.
Thank you. It's just so triggering when I start to feel pain and it doesn't go away within a few days.
Yeah.
It's triggering. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, sure. No problem. Yeah, well, these are great. And if you're watching the replay, we'd love to hear in the chat box. I know some of you couldn't make it live, and that's totally okay. So we're recording this, and I'm double recording. Actually, I have Fireflies and the Zoom, so hopefully this should work today. So yeah, but we'd love to hear from you in our chat group on Facebook Messenger. What are some of your non-negotiables? But as we go into the new year, I encourage you to reflect upon this last year. So, January is the time when a lot of us make New Year's resolutions. So, thinking about what were your New Year's resolutions with your nutrition and your fitness last beginning January 2025, kind of reflect, how did you do? Did you get closer to your goal? I know a lot of us in this group did amazing. I was telling the group last night, I'm so proud of everyone here. I mean, we're in December and you're still showing up, and that's incredible, because this is when most people fall off and don't care anymore. And so yeah, so proud of all of you and all the progress. But take time to reflect. And so thinking about the year, what habits did you do well at? What habits do you want to continue? What habits were maybe like unreachable? I've done that before, where I'm like, I'm going to do this every day. And then I'm like, oh, that pace is too high. So evaluating those habits. So as we prepare for 2026 and set those New Year's goals, setting that solid pace. These are my non-negotiables, and then also broadening it out. So these are my non-negotiables, and these are the things I'm going to do when I am able to do even more, when I have more time, or when I'm able to do more, what can I do in addition to these non-negotiables and then also just evaluating your goal, like maybe your goal was weight loss at the beginning of the year and you reached that goal weight, which is awesome. So what is another goal? It's always good to set another goal going forward, so that we're always progressing. We're not staying stuck. Always looking at like, okay, I can improve my energy, or I can improve my endurance. And I'm happy to talk with you one-on-one as well, to create a good plan, like depending on what your goal is, to say, okay, what is going to be the most effective, what am I going to do that's going to help me reach this goal, the most effective use of your time. So yeah, but excited. We're finishing the year strong, and our last weigh-in day is on Monday. Does anyone have any questions or thoughts before we wrap up? Excited? Christmas, 1 week and 1 day. Almost there. Awesome. Okay, well, if it's okay with you, I'm just gonna take a quick picture for our little group. Okay. All right. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, I'll try to be on video, but I'm
Oh,
outside.
okay, cool. Oh yeah. Oh wow. You look like you're like in
I
San
forget about the
Francisco.
background, so it actually, yeah, that works out.
That's great. Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I think that was a good one. Well, have a great day, everyone, and we will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.